G'day friends, it's Andrew here again from Nature's Image Photography, and in this video I'm tackling back button focus on the Lumix G9. And I really mean tackling it because after all my years of photography, this is something I've never been able to get the hang of. The whole thing started recently when I was making my video trying out the new 2.4 firmware update. It occurred to me while shooting this clip of Selena that the continuous autofocus would be just that little bit more effective if I was using back button focus. And then a few days later I was teaching a workshop at Australia Zoo, and a student who was just learning DSLR photography asked me about back button focus on her Nikon full frame camera. I showed her how to set it up and she declared she loved it and she was never going back. So now someone who's hardly ever used a DSLR camera was immediately nailing something I haven't been able to master after all these years. So my ego told me it was time to finally get serious about back button focus. Not because I thought it was essential to my photography, just because it was a gap in my skill set that needed to be filled. In this video I'm going to start right at the beginning. I'm going to explain what back button focus is for those who don't know, and what are the potential benefits. I'm going to show you how to set it up on the Lumix G9, and give you a demo to see it in action. And finally I want to tell you what I like and what I don't like about it, now that I've had a month to really get to know it. Before we start, if you're new to my channel, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to stay in touch with all of my new content. And if you really get something of value out of this video, you can show your support by buying me a coffee using the link in the details below. And on that subject, a great big thank you to the many people who've already done just that. Now I'm going to meet you at one of my favourite spots down by the lake, and we'll get started on the story of back button focus. So we're going to take a look at back button focus. What is it, what's it all about, and how do we set it up on the Panasonic Lumix G9. I'll start with what is it, and I guess at the simple level the name says it all. We're talking about back button focus, and that means instead of focusing using the shutter button on the front where you half press to focus and then you fully press to take a photograph, instead you'll be using your thumb to focus using the button on the back, which is the AF/AE lock button. So you focus with your thumb, you shoot with your finger. So that's the simple explanation of what back button focus is. The real question is, why would you use it? Now the first time you ask an expert about back button focus, they'll probably tell you that back button focus separates the focus function from the shooting function. That's all well and good, but it doesn't really tell you much. So I'd like to try to explain that a little bit better. So let's start by looking at what really happens when we're using front button focus. With the front button, once again, I half press to focus, I fully press to shoot. So focus, press the button, you take a shot. When you take your finger off the button, having taken your photograph, you have to focus to shoot again. And so every time you take a shot, your finger comes off the button and you have to refocus. And of course, if there's any movement involved and that kind of thing, there's always a chance that between one press and the next, you might lose focus on the thing that you're trying to shoot, and there's a risk you could miss a shot. Now this is the problem I had with my video of Selena that I mentioned earlier. I was using continuous autofocus, so as long as my finger was on the button, the focus was happening, but every time I took a shot my finger came off the button, I had to refocus again, and because I had Selena moving around, there was a good chance that the focus would miss her for one or two shots. So that's what happens when you use front button focus. You focus, but every time you take your finger off, there's a good chance that you might miss the focus for your next shot. Now when you compare that with back button focus, the situation's quite different. For a video like that, when I'm working with back button focus and continuous, I can keep my thumb on the button, so the focus is genuinely continuous, and then I can shoot, I can recompose my shot and shoot again, but the focus is genuinely continuous because as long as my thumb stays on the button, the focus keeps on happening. So when you're using back button focus combined with continuous autofocus, the focus is genuinely continuous. Now let's take a slightly deeper look at how the focus works in front button compared to back button. Now if I want to lock my focus using the front button focus, I use the dial at the back to switch the focus mode to AFS, and then I can focus, hold my finger on the button, and compose and shoot. So I don't have to keep my finger always, my focus point on the subject at all times. I can focus, and as long as I don't take my finger off the button, I can compose and shoot. Now, some people have trouble with this on the G9 because the focus button is such a light touch that they'll try to keep the finger half pressed, but they'll accidentally take a photograph without meaning to. And that's one reason why some people like to go to the back button focus. But let's go back to it. I can focus, I can compose. The focus will stay locked as long as I keep my finger on the button, and then I can shoot. Now, if I want to use continuous autofocus, I use the dial on the back here to switch it to AFC, and then I can focus, and if I keep my finger on the button, the focus will work as continuous focus now, and wherever I point the camera, it'll refocus on whatever I aim my focus point at. So I can use AFS and AFC, but I have to use them as two completely different functions. Now let's compare that to using back button focus. With back button focus, I can just use AFC all the time. I don't need to choose between one shooting mode or one focus mode and the other. Because with AFC and back button focus, remember that the focus only happens while my thumb is on the back button. It's a completely separate function to shooting with the front button. So I can use AFC and I can focus, and that will focus the shot, but if I take my thumb off the button, the focus won't change. So now I can recompose my photograph and shoot, and so it's a bit like using AFS with my finger half pressed on the button, except now I can focus, take my thumb off, I can recompose the shot and shoot it, and as long as the subject doesn't move, I can keep on shooting, and I have no trouble keeping it in focus. Meanwhile, if there's a moving subject, I'm in AFC already, I don't have to change my focus mode, I can just hold my thumb on the button and the focus will track. Now that's fantastic for something like when you're shooting wildlife. If you're doing a bird sitting on the branch of a tree and you want to take a bit of extra time to compose your shot because you've got that extra time, you might then use your thumb to focus, take your thumb off the button, and you can recompose the shot any way you like and you can shoot it. But if the bird takes off, then it's just a matter of holding your thumb down on the button and following it and shooting as you go. You don't have to keep switching between the two different focusing modes. AFC does both. So it's virtually like having two different focusing functions in one. You've got the benefits of AFS, because you can focus and take your thumb off the button and that will lock the focus, but you've also got AFC ready to go, because if you hold your thumb on the button, the focus will continually track the subject, and you've got the option of using AFS and AFC all in the one function. Okay, so now I'm going to take you around to the back of the camera so I can show you how you set up the back button focus on the Panasonic Lumix G9, and I'm also going to give you a quick little demonstration of the functions in action in real time. So here we are in the menu. We go down to the third section, the one with the spanner and the letter C, and select the focus release shutter heading. Now, it's not enough just to enable the back button, we also have to disable the front button. So the first thing I do is go down to Shutter AF heading, which is switched on by default, and I go in there and switch it off. That's the front button taken care of. Now I want to enable focusing on the back button. So I go up to the AF AE lock heading, and there are a number of options here. The one I want to select is AF on, and that's it. The whole thing only takes a few seconds, and now you're ready to shoot using back button focus. Now let's move on to the demo, and to begin with you'll see that if I focus and then take my thumb off the button, I can recompose my shot and the focus doesn't change. Now I can take my photo knowing the subject stays in focus even after I move the camera. Using this method I can focus on either subject and still compose the photo any way I like. Next, I focus again, but this time I keep my thumb on the button as I move the camera, and the continuous focus shifts wherever I move the focus point. And the continuous focus keeps working until I take my thumb off the button, which then locks the focus. Notice that this is all done using AFC. I don't have to flick that switch to change my focus mode. At all times I can choose to focus and then recompose my photo any way I like, or I can simply keep my thumb pressed down to maintain continuous focus. Now for something a bit more dynamic, and I had the chance to put all of this to the test with Selena, who by now I think deserves a medal for service to the Lumix G9 community. As I predicted, back button focus meant that for a shooting sequence like this, the focus was genuinely continuous, because while I have to take my finger off the front button between shots, my thumb on the back button keeps the focus engaged at all times. Okay, so back button focus. I gave myself about a month to try it out, because for me the issue was not learning how to do it. The issue was untraining myself from decades of old habits. It's easy enough to understand what to do with back button focus, and if you're fairly new to photography and you don't have decades of instinct built into the way you take your photos, you might not have any trouble adapting. But I found it very difficult, simply because when I had time to stop and think about what I was doing, I could easily focus, do everything I had to do and shoot my shot. But if a big moment came along, and I was excited to grab that moment, I would just instinctively go to the front button. Nothing would happen, the camera wouldn't focus, and I'd miss an opportunity. By the time I remembered, I had to take my finger off there and go to the thumb there to focus. So it was more a matter of not so much training myself in something new, but untraining old habits, if that makes sense. So it's a matter of teaching an old dog new tricks. Some people will pick it up easier than others. Some people like me might have a little bit of trouble with that. So it took me a few weeks to really get into the habit. I still make the odd mistake, but I am getting used to it. Time will tell whether I stick with this in the long term. There are a couple of things I really didn't like about using back button focus. Once again, they're probably more an issue of trying to break old habits than anything else. But the first one was shooting vertical photographs. I found I had no trouble holding the camera and focusing this way. Focus, compose, shoot using the AFC method that I've mentioned before. I can stay in continuous focus. All of that works fine that way. I just found it harder when I was doing a vertical shot, because it puts your thumb into a sort of an awkward position. Your thumb sort of pressed up against your cheekbone half the time. That was a little bit odd, and also I found that the thumb, instead of going here, I keep on hitting the function 1 button by mistake. So I was continuously having to take my eye away from the viewfinder to get my thumb into the right position to then line up my shot. Now, it has occurred to me, since I encountered that problem, that there's a reason why so many photographers take their photos this way. That's quite natural. This is quite awkward. So that's just a question of, once again, trying to break a habit of probably decades of photography, because I now need to take my photos this way if I want to enjoy the experience of shooting with back button focus for a vertical format, which I do for a lot of my portraits. The other issue that took a bit of getting used to was when I was using the super high speed pre-burst function. That's the mode that when you half press to focus, the camera starts taking photos before you even press the button, and then when you press the button using the electronic shutter, the camera will take all the shots and save everything you shoot, plus about 0.4 of a second of the shots from before you press the button. So it's a great mode for those split-second moments, for things like when you're trying to take a bird as it takes off from the branch of a tree or something like that. I use it a lot for action wildlife photography, but I found it a little bit of an issue with the back button focus, because first of all I thought it didn't work. I would hold my thumb down to focus, and then when the bird took off I'd press the button, and I would save everything I shot, but I didn't get the pre-burst benefit, and at first I thought it just wasn't working. But then that was the dumb brain in me. The smart brain eventually kicked in, and it occurred to me that the back button takes care of focus, but it's the front button that activates the pre-burst. So to use the pre-burst function, you've got to hold your thumb down on the back button to focus, and you also have to half press on the front button to activate the pre-burst. So it's a matter of focus, hold your finger down, and then in that last instant you press the button. It's easy to do, if you think about it, but again, it wasn't instinctive, and it took a little bit of time for me to get used to it. And having to put full pressure on the thumb and half pressure on the finger, it's a little bit more fiddly than you might think. So the function works fine, but once again, it's a matter of training yourself to get in the habit of doing it the way it needs to be done. So there's my look at back button focus on the Panasonic Lumix G9. I did find it harder to get the hang of than I expected. I'm pleased that I've done it. Now that I have learned how to do it and got enough knowledge to put this video together, I'm not sure if I'll stick with it long term or not. I think I probably will, because I do like the fact that for wildlife photography, I have the combination of one-shot focus and also continuous focus all in the one button, which I find very handy without having to keep on switching focus modes. That's terrific. But there are a couple of little inconvenient aspects to it as well, and I'm still getting my head around those. So long term, only time will tell. But for those people who have been wanting to learn about back button focus, try saying that 6 times quickly, and also learn how to set it up on your Lumix G9. I hope this video has been helpful for you. Okay, let's wrap this whole thing up while we look at a few of the shots I've taken while I've been practicing. There's one final thing I want to say about back button focus. If you're still learning and asking around about autofocus methods, you're going to meet people who act like back button focus is the most important thing in all of photography. Front button focus is a relic of the last century. You're not a real photographer unless you use back button focus. All that is rubbish. The truth is, it's slightly better in some respects. It's not going to transform your photography, but you might find it handy. If you're curious, I hope this video has helped you out, and if you're not sure, just give it a try and decide what works best for you. I, for one, am glad I've finally mastered it, and I'm going to stick with it for at least a bit longer and see how it goes. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm Andrew Goodall. Thanks for watching.